Representing the Prime Minister of Australia, Senator, the Honourable Mark Arbib, Minister for Employment Participation and the Minister assisting the Prime Minister for Government Service Delivery, the Honourable Sharon Bird, Member for Cunningham, the Honourable Catherine King, Member for Ballarat, the Honourable Brett Ragus, Member for Ford, the Honourable Kelvin Thompson, Member for Wills, Jim Barron, World Skills Australia Deputy Chair and World Skills Australia Board Members, Dr Stephen Hollings, Director of Sales Strategy for News Limited, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, the 2009 Team Australia Skillaroos. Before we begin the proceedings, I would like to show my respect and acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which this uniform presentation takes place, the Ngunnawal people. Well, welcome to a very special event, the Career One official uniform presentation for the 2009 Team Australia Skillaroos. And I think that it is only fitting that this presentation is taking place here at the Australian Institute of Sport, Australia's preeminent elite sports training facility. By hosting the 2009 Team Australia uniform presentation and training camp at the AIS, we are highlighting the value of success in the pursuit of skills excellence, not only amongst the Skillaroos, but indeed all Australians. The young men and women who make up the 2009 Team Australia Skillaroos are elite in their own right, and as such, just as our elite athletes have trained here prior to Olympic and World Championship success, over this weekend, Skillaroos have had access to the same facilities and the same environment. Just on 2 years ago, when we began laying out plans for the 2009 Team Australia Skillaroos, many of our past competitors requested that we consider a second training camp, with the preferred location being the AIS. Thanks to the tremendous support and commitment to skills excellence from our media partner, Career One, we have been able to make the training camp at the AIS a reality. This has provided the 2009 Team Australia Skillaroos with the opportunity to finalise their preparations, both physically and mentally, and by this uniform presentation this morning, reinforce the tremendous honour that they have all been provided, that of representing their country. I would now like to call on Dr Stephen Hollings, Director of Sales Strategy from News Limited and representing Career One, to say a few words. Steve.
Senator the Honourable Mark Arbib, Minister for Employment Participation and Minister assisting the Prime Minister for Government Service Delivery. Mr Jim Barron, Deputy Chair World Skills Australia, Mr Mark Callaghan, CEO of World Skills Australia, other Members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, and as Mark said, most importantly, Team Australia, the Skillaroos. Good morning to you all, a somewhat foggy morning here in Canberra. This morning marks the culmination, I think, of a very significant weekend here at the Australian Institute of Sport, one that is worthy of record in the maturing of our nation. Over the years, so many of Australia's very best athletes have passed through this organisation, and the very best of them have proved to be the world's best in so many of their chosen fields, and Australia has been rightly proud of them. This weekend, the Career One Team Australia has joined them, a team that has been honed, like all our sporting teams, through rigorous local, regional and national competition. It too is composed of eager young Australians from a myriad of different backgrounds. And it too is composed of young Australians so skillful that I have no doubt that there are future world champions within their ranks. It's a team though that excels not with a ball or a racket or a bat, but with a trowel or spanner or pliers, or in kitchens, or with flowers or hair dyes or sophisticated pieces of manufacturing machinery. And for them to be here is, I think, an absolutely fitting use of the facilities. And I hope the start of a recognition throughout Australia that the Skillaroos rightly sit alongside any and all of our elite national sporting teams. Having had the privilege of watching these young men and women in national competition, I'm in no doubt at all that what World Skills Australia does is highlight true world excellence in skills. And these young people before us today have that in spades. Unfortunately, the global financial recession has led to organisations cutting back everywhere, but particularly on marketing and sponsorship, and we've all had to take hard decisions on our businesses. But there are some things that you just must support. Career One is one of Australia's principal job boards and a joint venture between News Limited and Monster, the US-based leader in job boards internationally. At Korea One, we've now supported World Skills for over 2 years, and to us there can be few worthier causes than assisting these wonderful ambassadors for Australia in their very worthwhile international endeavours. Korea One's extremely proud of being able to be here and support the Korea One Team Australia as it's presented with its uniforms. Sport provides much to our nation. Let's be honest, it makes us feel great to see Australians winning. It makes us prize devotion and endeavour and the value of competition, and it encourages us to meet the challenges in all our lives. It provides us with role models, it encourages us to prize team dynamics, and much, much more. But dare I say in these hallowed sporting halls that the inherent skill of the sports person often adds little to the nation as a whole. For example, the ability to play cricket or hockey or basketball, for example, is not in itself an innately nation-building skill. Yet with these athletes before us today, make no mistake, they are every bit athletes by my definition. The training they undertake and the competition that they engage in assures them of such status. These elite athletes, who are the Team Australia's Skillaroos, offer us much more. They too will make us feel great when we see them competing, and no doubt some of them winning, and we will see their devotion, their endeavour, their discipline, and the way in which they approach competition will undoubtedly inspire us. But these elite athletes are also elite craftsmen and women, and their inherent skills are also nation-building skills. They possess what Australia needs to create a strong nation with a strong economy going forward, and we're better to acknowledge that than here in Canberra. There has been much political debate about Australia's response to the global financial crisis, but I think there's a widespread agreement about the value of using these times for governments to promote large nation-building infrastructure projects. What is often forgotten is that if we are to deliver these infrastructure projects, we'll need so many of the skills represented here within Team Australia. And with many of these projects, the application of university-developed skills is not possible without the appropriate vocational skills resource in place. It is these which form the bedrock skills base for these projects. We often comment when talking about infrastructure on just how groundbreaking the Snowy Mountains scheme was for its time. And the far-reaching nature of it becomes even more apparent when we think that the energy that it generates is all environmentally sound. Going forward, green industries will be built around many of the skill sets found in today's Team Australia, while others will drive forward the tourism and hospitality sectors, much to the benefit of Australia overall. The Skillaroos will be like other elite athletes. Their time in international competition will unhappily be pretty short. But unlike other athletes, their time of application of their world-class skills will not diminish at all as the years go by. They will continue to use them. They will develop successful careers. They will build businesses. They will take on apprentices and train people. And therefore the application of their skills will be for the long-term good of the country. And if we don't want to face the skill shortages in the future that bedeviled us before we went into this global downturn, then it's incumbent upon us to ensure that these world-class young people in front of us today are seen as role models in every school in Australia, so that all of our young people strive for greatness and understand what can be achieved through following a career in the vocational skills area. In everything that we do in our lives, there can be no greater goal or challenge than the pursuit of excellence. These young men and women are engaged in the ultimate pursuit of excellence in skills for this country, and there can be no better place to be in Australia this morning than with them. At Korea One, we have great pride in supporting them on their march to excellence and world recognition, and in believing that these are young Australians who are very worthy, ladies and gentlemen, of your support and your acclamation as they go forward to represent their country.